Hello everyone, your pie here of SY Pro Studios, and today is Wedding Dress in a Week Challenge vlog. So first up is the fabric. It is some kind of Georgia poly fabric. It's really soft and stretchy, kind of stretchy and summery. Next is she picked the Simplicity pattern for me to alter to make the dress. So I'm using the pattern and then making my alterations to where it kind of becomes my own pattern. So I have to make alterations to that pattern. So in this video you'll kind of see basically exactly what I had to do to make this pattern my own. You probably won't see in super detail because the video is going pretty fast. So I wanted to speed it up, because if I did not speed it up, this video would be extra long, and I doubt you guys want to watch this whole video. You know, it'd be forever. Anyway, first I'm laying out the pattern pieces. This is the bodice top, or you can say the top of the dress. I have to cut that out in the main fabric first. So that's what I'm doing out. I cut out those pieces of the pattern already out of the big sheet. A pattern that comes in a big sheet. And so you have to cut that out first, and then you can place it on the fabric that you wanted. So here now I'm tracing the fabric, or tracing the pattern on the fabric, so that way I have more of a line to go back on in case the material moves. It's really flowy material, so if I was to just cut it straight off of, without tracing it or tracing marks, the material would move a lot and I would probably miscut. So drawing or tracing tracing the marks where I need them helps a lot. Also, I had to make alterations as well, so using the pencil to mark where I need to go and cut from a separate line instead of the original or something. That helps a lot. So now I'm just making sure I have the measurement correct on the pattern, on the correct measurement line off the pattern, and soon I'm going to cut. I use the weights to keep the fabric itself and the paper from shifting a lot while I cut it. This helps so much, because without it you would want to shoot something. So especially with this material, it's really flowy and soft and it's easy to move. It's basically the same as with the lining material that you're gonna see later on in a bit. So now I'm just cutting all the pieces out, making sure everything's lined up and everything, because if it's not, it's gonna suck. Now, skirt time. So I know she wanted a train in the back, so I had to adjust the pattern to make sure I had enough material left over to make sure she had a long enough train the way she wanted it. So I had to be really strategic with how I cut the bodice top material from the out of the pattern, from the pattern onto the material. I had to be really careful with how much material I used, because I had to make sure I had enough so that there is a train with this dress. So I kind of finish off the video as it's kind of incomplete the way I finish it as far as the skirt part goes, but that's only because I have to make adjustments later on while I fit the skirt or the dress on her, so that way I can kind of cut around to make sure just to make sure that the train is exactly what she wanted. So when she comes and tries it on, the length of the train and the shape of the train will be exactly how it's supposed to be on her. So I just kind of cut it this way and make sure I have enough material, and I kind of come back to it later on. So if you're kind of confused about this part, don't worry about it. I had to make modifications as I went while she tried the dress on. So now is the sleeves. The sleeves pattern, as you can see, there's two sleeves. So there's a front part and then there's a back part to the sleeve. On the sleeves, she wanted ruffled sleeves. So with this, I had to make sure I had enough material and pin my pattern piece down on the material. There's enough material for both arms, so I had to double up on the material. So with the one piece you see on the closer to the camera has 2 pieces of material, good sides facing each other, and then the second piece you see good sides facing each other. There's 2 pieces of material for that as well. So I'm pinning everything down to make sure I have enough material to add adjustments, so that I adjust the pattern to where the sleeves become ruffled instead of more tight or cuffed onto the arm. So this adjustment will give me, or give her, the ruffles that she wants. I'm not exactly sure because I'm teaching myself how to do all this stuff. I learned some things working with a designer here in Chicago, so I'm just letting the Most High and the Holy Spirit just guide me into this whole thing, because yeah. So as you can see, I'm penciling it in, I'm making my adjustments as I go, and trying to figure everything out as I go. Praise the Most High, it came out the way it was supposed to, the way I wanted it. So now, as you can see, I'm penciling in the ruffle, the extra space and extra material I need for the ruffles. I have to make sure that it's the correct length all the way around, so that it's not uneven, or if it does turn out to be uneven, you know, it's not a huge deal. It doesn't look terrible when it comes out. I'm doing it with the other sleeve as well, making adjustments. All right, now it's cutout time. So this, it's kind of like a pad, and then the tool that I'm using to cut with, it's like a wheel, kind of like how pizzas, when you cut a pizza, it has the pizza wheel, the pizza cutter, the little wheel thing. It's basically the same thing as that, but for fabric. So it helps a lot, especially, you know, so I kind of alternate between using this and using scissors depending on the project or what needs to get cut and how accurate it needs to be cut. So I'm doing the first one, making sure it's all material and the paper's weighed down so nothing moves too much, because that can be annoying, as I stated before. First piece is done. Now moving to the second piece. And sometimes it doesn't cut all the way through, so I have to like double check it sometimes. Most of the time it gets the job done. Yeah, see how I'm going, have to go back. I'll probably just need a sharper wheel. I've had that for a little while now, so I probably need to get a sharper razor on that wheel. Alright, now done with that. Clean up, get those things off of there. Clean the table. Alright, now it's the lining material. Like, this stuff is super soft and flowy. So this is what's gonna go underneath the main material. So I have to place the bodice pieces that already have the main material cut out on it already, or with it. So I'm just placing that on top of the lining as well, because I have to cut the lining out. I have to make sure it's all straight. Grain lines, I learned that from my mentor. I'll just call her mentor. Alright, after pinning everything down, now it's time to cut. As you can see, there's different layers of pattern paper there. I had to adjust it to where I made sure that it fit her. A lot of the pattern pieces, they have like in between sizes, so I had to like make adjustments and place a pattern piece on top of another one, and then like play with the lines that have the measurements on it to make sure that I have enough space and enough room, and that I make sure that it fits her correctly when she puts everything on. I'd rather have more space than no space. Cutting it out. Alright, and that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Part 2 is coming of the sewing, etc., etc. Thank you guys for watching, and I will talk to you later. Bye bye. See you for part 2.